Hello, welcome to episode number 377 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. It's going to be SmackDown for week 3 of June 2023, and it is the go-home show to Money in the Bank. We are in London. I have set it officially. We are in the O2 Arena. And yeah. So I think tonight we've got the big Ding Dong Hello segment that's going to close out the night. The Money in the Bank participants are all in those. And then we've got the tag team match, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes against Seth Rollins and Solo Sikoa. And we have another match, Ashanti the Adonis against Pete Dunne. So the hometown crowd gets to see their boy, the Bruiserweight, do some stuff. Without any more further ado though, let's jump straight into tonight's show. We kick off with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn coming to the ring. Just to get the big pot from the O2 crowd to start the show. And they're like, we've been all around the world, wrestling in the States, of course, Canada, and here in the United Kingdom. But, the fans here in the UK, they sure do know how to give us some love that, places outside of Canada don't typically tend. So that's why we thought we'd come out here tonight, we are taking aim at the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Cesaro and Bryan have them. I don't think you're going to see us tomorrow, so we may as well show our faces here tonight. What do you say? And me and Sammy are going to be in tag team action tonight. And their opponents are Aussie Open, to get, the Aussies on the show. Aussie, oi, 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 all of that. Just a fun opening segment, I'm going to treat this similarly way to that they treat it in real life. Like, if there are people that aren't set for Money in the Bank, just stick them on this show to get them out in front of the crowd. But yeah, it is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against Aussie Open to kick off the night in an 83 rated tag team match. Of course, Owens and Zayn do win. Kevin Owens pins Carlin Rogers with a stunner in 14 minutes. 80 for Sami, 86 for Kevin, 76 for Kylan Rogers, and a 68 for Brad Sawyer. And yeah, just British stuff. I will say this go-home show is, I think most of the stuff built to Money in the Bank on the SmackDown side is pretty much all done. So a lot of this is going to be like, just the cherry on top. But yes, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn pick up the win here against Aussie Open to kick off SmackDown in the O2. After that match, we then cut backstage. We see Bryan and Cesaro watching on the screen. And Kayla's like, boys, you seem to be heading towards a future championship match against Owens and Zayn. And Bryan's like, yeah, we told them last week, name the time and the place. We've got all the respect in the world for those two men. And it's going to be us and me and Cesaro, and we wrestle them. We're going to have a hell of a fight wherever that may be. But for now, let London take in their favourites, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And we're going to sit back here and we're going to wait. Because Seth Rollins has a point last week, okay? He said that Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, he thinks they should be in line for the championships. Because it isn't just Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So, if they want to get the opportunity at the titles, we're going to have to let them earn it. And tonight was a good start. Beating a credible team like Aussie Open. We then see Swerve hit row backstage. And it's like, London, okay, I see what we're doing here. Okay, so your little hero, your little bruiserweight Pete Dunne, okay? You think he's going to do his home country proud here tonight? Well, nah, let me tell you that ain't going to happen right here. Because last week, he may have got one up on Top Dollar, but that's Top Dollar, okay? And he's going to think the hometown crowd can be by his side, but you don't go stepping to Ashanti the Adonis. Okay, and even if you do, Pete, you're going to be worn out. Ashanti's going to have you beaten tonight. You're not going to be able to make it to Money in the Bank tomorrow. And then Ashanti says that but you're not going to make it there because you're overestimating the God's Adonis truth. And you may have beat Top Dollar, you got lucky, like Swerve said. But tonight, right now, here in your own country, I'm going to embarrass you in front of the world. Because that is the God's Adonis truth. And then we head, I think, to the match, which is Pete Dunne against Ashanti the Adonis. 77, big singles match for Pete Dunne in front of, the British crowd. And he, of course, does pick up the win in 12 minutes and 9 seconds with the bitter end. 8 minutes, 80 for Pete Dunne, and a 72 for Shanky, you know. I can't remember what the top dollar match got, but I assume it wasn't as good as this. But, yeah, Pete Dunne has picked up the win over both Top Dollar and Shanky now. And it's now confirmed that at Money in the Bank, it will be Swerve Scott defending his United States Championship in the UK, in London, against the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. So, yeah, look forward to that. That's another match. I think that's the final match added to the show. So there's 11, including the pre-show women's tag team match. Yeah, so this is the final match added to the card. We then see a backstage segment. It's the grand jury backstage. You know, it's like earlier today they recorded this. And Ziggler, like I said last week, boys, you know, you may have come up short in your quest to become champions 2 weeks ago, but, you know, take it from all DZ. Okay, setbacks happen. Okay, and us here in the grand jury, we're looking ahead. We're looking ahead past Money in the Bank. We're King of the Ring. Okay, and old DZ, he'd love to be King of the Ring. He's already unofficially King of the Ring, you should know. This is grand jury territory right here. And once I get in that King of the Ring and I win it all, grand jury success, we all rise with it, you know. A rising tide raises all ships and all that. Because that could raise the entire SmackDown, because the entire landscape of SmackDown, that is grand jury's territory. And then we just see Tony D'Angelo and friends walk in. He goes, "Hey, watch your mouth here, Dolph. Okay. What you saying? You think SmackDown is grand jury territory? Sure, that may well have been the case. But there's a new Dawn around here now. Okay? Dolph Ziggler, DZ, you're yesterday's news. It's all about the family now. And the new Dawn of the WWE. Oh, Tony D." And Dolph's like, "Yeah, okay, Tony, you know, this is our first time really meeting, you know. You tend to spend a lot of your time at fancy restaurants and doing mob stuff that I'm not even going to get involved with. But, you know, I was impressed with your work. You know, you beat Karrion Kross at Judgment Day. So, if you're free tonight, why don't we put this to the test? We put this little turf war of yours to the test. Me and my boys, Emerson and Ken, against you and your two boys tonight." Because I'll show you never rash, Dolph. You know, you're lucky that big problem back here, he's injured, he's hurt. Because he'd be your big problem if he wasn't. But tonight, we're going to be your big problem anyway. And they walk off and Priest's like, "Okay, I guess I get the night off then." Dolph's like, "Yeah, you know, you can sit back and you can watch, you know, you can take notes, you know, to get the ball rolling, you know, once we prove that this is officially our yard." Can you believe those kids? And Priest just shakes his head, he goes, "Nope." That's Naomi. Why the fuck is Naomi on screen? That's supposed to be Adam Pearce. Why did I put Naomi? Anyway, we get a three-way contract signing for the Women's World Championship match at Money in the Bank. Pearce goes, "Let me first welcome the challengers first, Liv Morgan." Out comes Liv. And then Cheetah comes out second. And Cheetah takes her seat opposite Liv. And I was like, you know what? I can't even wait. Okay, because I've got a lot of things I need to say, and I'm going to say them right now while you're here, Sheeta, to listen. Like, listen here, okay, so make no mistake about it, I've been very, very aggressive over the last month, because I know, you know, it's been 3 years since I was the Raw Women's Champion, and I never managed to get that chance to get my title back, and being this close to the championship, and somebody that you do consider your friend is there and they're conspiring against you, you know, it is going to hurt. And it's fine because now you're in my way officially, as is Candice. We got a triple threat match. And as much as we may keep this tag team alive, you know, I hope we can still be friends after I beat you up and win the championship tomorrow night. And she just sort of looks on, shaking her head. She goes, "Liv, You've been hurt before, okay? Your old best friends, they betrayed you. But I'm not like them, okay? Everything I do with a good heart, and I do it to try and help us both. But if it's going to take me and you fighting for you to get this aggression out, then I welcome it. Because hopefully once this is all over, all your aggression will be out. And you may well be sitting here the Women's World Champion. Because you are good. But I am better, so I wouldn't count on that, Liv. And I was like, oh, okay, so look, here we go. Here we go, see, oh, yeah, I'm going to be the champion. Yeah, you may well be the champion, but guess what? You may well be better than me. Sure, guess what? You don't want this like I want this. Okay? I've been told for years that I wasn't good enough to get to that level. You came in, the flashy debut. Money in the Bank last year, actually, funnily enough. And immediately you were positioned as one of the best in the world. I was never that. I scratched, and I clawed, and I bled, and I sweat, and I cried just to get here. To be here in this position. And I'm not taking anything away from your journey, because I'm sure your journey was difficult too. But for you to sit there and overlook me, you'll regret it. And Candice comes out. It's like, oh, girls, don't stop on my account. I'm just, here to sign the contract. And like, I don't mean to interrupt you too while you're doing your thing. But since I am out here now, I hate to, stir the pot up a little bit, but Liv, everything you've said is true. And trust me, if anyone can relate to that, it's me. Because we actually, same partner, in fact, Oh, good old Ruby, left us both high and dry. But you two have got something special here as a team. And I know how wrestling be that you have a minor disagreement and you're going to try and rip each other's heads off and become mortal enemies. I'm just here to try and play peacemaker as well as world champion, okay? It's not easy. Because all I'm going to say is when I retain my championship tomorrow night, I hope you two can still be friends. And Candice signs the contract. And Liv goes, well, I think me and my good friend Shida here are on the same wavelength right now. Like, what do you say, Shida? And she goes, I think so. And then they both kick Candice. And they end up fighting. Like, they hit, Shida hits Candice with her finisher. And then I imagine Liv would then drop Shida with fucking a kick or Oblivion or whatever, depending on where she is. And then Liv would, like, finally pick up the title. Like, this is going to be mine, I need this. I need this. She slams the title on the floor. And then she leaves. Finally, proving some physicality here between these two. Like, intentional physicality. But it's proven that Liv is ready to take the extra step to become Women's World Champion. But who will leave with the belt tomorrow night? Who knows? Speaking of women's matches tomorrow night, another big one we have is the weaponized cage blow-off match between Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Loser leaves SmackDown. So one more big video package recapping everything from Io's return, even before WWE, to now, the history, the beef, the friendship, the falling out, all of it. It ends tomorrow night. Oh, 73. That is much better than I thought it was going to be. And they both got great gimmicks. That's good. Yeah, Caden and Katana are scoring 62 and 53 with like 30 pop. So, yeah, Birds of Prey are challenging Tatum and Ivy for the women's tag titles tomorrow. So, may as well give them another win here since it's on SmackDown and that's the show they're on. Lyra pins Caden Carr with the guillotine in 9 minutes 30. 71 for Lyra, 65 for Kelly, 62 for Katana, and a 53 for Caden Carr. So, yeah, nice, I think that is definitely on the kickoff show, the women's tag title match between these two and Tatum and Ivy. But, yeah, you get more NXT UK alums out in front of England. Can't really go wrong there. Speaking of, we then immediately cut from their win to Florence is in the back getting ready, I guess, for an appearance on Ding Dong Hello. No, it's not even a match. When she's approached by Tatum Paxley and Ivy Nile. And they're like, hey. She's like, yes, how can I help you? She's like, no, we wanted to come here and just, like, appreciate you and, like, say thanks because, you know, obviously we're defending our titles against Lyra and Kelly tomorrow night, and you sort of got those two together, and as champions, you know, one of our main goals was to help raise the entire division instead of just, you know, ourselves. And adding a tag team like that to the division, even if it's going to be a tough match for us tomorrow night, which it will be, it does help establish the teams and the titles more. So, Florence, you know, you did good. And she's like, thank you. Like, I'm sure, I'm not going to say you're going to win because, you know, my girls are pretty good. But, you know, hope you do okay. And she sort of walks off. Just a nice little wholesome moment, I guess. This, though, is not wholesome. Adam Pearce is in his office when in walks Chelsea Green. And she taps him on the shoulder. And he goes, yes? And she's like, Adam? And he's like, what? What is it today? She goes, I can't help but notice that on Monday Night Raw, they set up Queen of the Ring for next week. Pearce's like, yeah, correct. You know, King, Queen of the Ring. Starting next week. You know, I'm finalizing SmackDown's brackets right as we speak. And Chelsea's like, I didn't receive an email. And he's like, why would I have sent you an email, Chelsea? About what? She's like, well, being in Queen of the Ring. You know, that seems right up my alley, Pearce. Why you keep me out of that tournament, huh? If you've got something against me? Pearce is like, no. She's like, are you perhaps sexist against women? Pearce goes, the entire tournament is full of women. What are you on about? She goes, what I'm on about is this. I need to be in that tournament. Okay, give me a qualifier. Give me a qualifying match tonight and I'll win it and I'll get in. Pearce is like, I can do that. And if you lose, she's like, well, I won't lose. But it depends on the manner of my defeat, Pearce. If I think there's something suspicious going on here, you know me, I'm not going to let it go. I'll be back here, knocking on your door, asking you to explain why. Pearce goes, I look forward to it. So yeah, Chelsea Green will be in a Queen of the Ring qualifier next week. I nearly said Money in the Bank. I actually think that might be up next. And if it is, then this obviously was taped earlier on in the day. But I am pretty sure that the match is actually up next. No, it's not. Okay. A different match is up next. We see La French Connection. Which is obviously a bit haha meta because, you know, Michael Oku is English. But he's playing a Frenchman. And he goes, last week, La French Connection were disrespected by Indoshare. Okay, I don't know what Malcolm Bivens has done to get Sanger along with his thing, but he is not dominating SmackDown at the expense of La French Connection. Okay, so tonight, across Le Channel from Le Great Nation of Francais, myself, David Maton, Edris Inofe, et Malik Blade, shout out Malcolm Bivens and his crew of Indoshare and Omas in Le 6-man tag team match. And that match gets a 70. David Maton and Omas were the two high scorers. But unfortunately, it is Indoshare who win again. Omas and Indoshare win. Omas pins Malik Blade with a chokeslam. 76 for Omas, 50 for Veer, 44 for Sanger, 74 for David Maton, 53 for Idris Inofe, and 47 for Malik Blade. I feel like the Frenchmen have sort of slowly, softly turned babyface over the last couple of weeks from a combination of just having bangers and, you know, this mini feud here with Indoshare, which means, you know, the UK crowd will be cheering for their French friends, especially David Maton, of course. But it is the heels who pick up the win here tonight. But then after the match, though, because I'm not entirely a heel booker, Bivens gets into the ring and he orders Sanger to continue the assault on Edris and Malik. And Sanger, he's done, you know. He's done his deed. They've won the match. He doesn't take part in this, you know, post-match assault bullshit. He's still a good guy, you know. He's just in this tag team. And Veer, I imagine, slaps him in the face, like, go do it. And Sanga, like, gets out of the ring. And then when Veer turns around, he's nailed by a dropkick by David Matar. And then Idris and Malik hit their tag team finisher on Veer. Just to get a big pop, you know. Get the Frenchman a big pop, because they do get beat a lot. So, just a fun little babyface pop here for them. I don't know what happens to Omar if he doesn't get involved, because they're not taking him down. But I don't want him to beat them up either, so I guess he just stood on the outside of the ring. But yeah, Veer gets laid out by La French Connection. But tensions in Indus still, like, he's gone along with the team, seemingly reluctantly. And there's some weird shit going on here with these three big boys. Speaking of weird shit, Chase Yu, they're in the gym, you know, getting their weapons of war ready to go and save Thea. And of course, you know, the weapons are comical. Haley Poole has the weapon of knowledge or some shit. And Shane Reynolds has, you know, the knowledge of drinking and stuff like that. And they're armed to go and take over to get Thea back. When I imagine the scene is they're in like a gym. They're in like Chase Yu gym class. And you've got, you know, those big hanging projectors, those big sheets where you project things on. Yeah, there's one of those in the middle of the hall, and then the image of Thea is projected onto it. And she seems upbeat, but like still something seems off. Like, she's like, "Hey, Mr. Chase, so I'm sorry about missing class the other day. I was really busy. I know it's not normally like me to miss class, and I just didn't think I needed that much help. And I am me, and I'm safe and sound, and I don't need you to worry because I am a-okay, Mr. Chase, and I am gonna be back soon. And just you not worry your little Chase Yu vest about me, because I'm all good. Bye, Mr. Chase." And then Shane and Bodhi just looking like, well, I guess she's okay. Like, we did all this for nothing. Andre Chase is there, he's rubbing his little goatee, he's like, she's not. We have to go now. And Shane's like, well, she seemed fine. It's like, yes. That's what she wants us to think. She needs us to go find her. We need to save Chase University. Because, you know, no man left behind, all of that, you know. If I lose a student, it looks bad on me, Mr. Chase. And then Bodhi's like, well, I did hear a rumor that if, you know, a student, we all pass. And Andre Chase goes, what the f*** is that about, Bodhi? Huh? Is that what you're worried about in this time of crisis? Chase Yu? Huh? Get together. Get out of your... Stop thinking like an I and stop thinking like a we, okay? Because you are not just Bodhi Hayward in these halls. You're Bodhi Hayward of Andre Chase motherfucking University. And you're going to go in there and you're going to save your friend, our classmate, and the threat that Chase Yu has of turning into some spooky witch voodoo bullshit home, okay? Bodhi's like, okay. Yes, Chase Yu. They will storm out the fire exit. Aha. This repackaging is really going to hamper Asuka's credibility in the year-end awards, because all of her matches get 70 because they only last about 2 minutes. But yes, Chelsea Green's Queen of the Ring qualifier is against Asuka, and she just gets eaten alive in 2 minutes with an Asuka lock. So Asuka is in Queen of the Ring. She gets a 90, 47 for Chelsea Green. Goes about as well as you expect it to. Yes. Asuka, just a reminder, she's here. I don't think we've seen her since Judgment Day, because I didn't want to put her in Money in the Bank. And the only reasonable explanation I could have for her not being in a qualifier is that she took a month off. So, yeah. But she's back now. We then see Cora and Bayley backstage. Or Bayley's in like her ding dong hello get up. She's got her turtleneck on, her glasses, and she's like flicking few cue cards and shit. And Cora walks in, she's like, what you doing? She's like, oh, you know, I've been tasked with an international main event episode of Ding Dong Hello. And I need to just make sure it goes without a hitch because I care about that sort of thing. And Cora goes, well, stop stressing, okay? Mind the banks tomorrow, God, cheer Dakota on, get us a win, because we may have failed to qualify, but Dakota's in that match, damage control can still get the job done. And like you said, when one of us wins, we all win. And Bailey's like, yeah. Anyway, so, about Ding Dong Hello. Cora's like, oh my god. Bailey, come on. Get your head in the game. Focus, okay? Yeah, sure, doing this weird segment tonight, but come on. This is why we keep losing. Bailey sort of looks at Cora. She's like, why? Why do we keep losing? Please do enlighten me, Cora, since you so seem to know what the problem is in this group. Okay, well, I'm the leader of the group, and I don't think there's an issue here. But if you've got a problem, please do say so. And Cora's like, you know what? Forget it. It's nothing. It's nothing important. Have fun tonight, Dakota's going to be out there. So you got a friend out there. You got someone to watch your back. Just have fun, Bailey. Knock yourself out. And then she just sort of walks off. Bailey goes, yeah. Thinking problems in this group. Give me a break. She puts her glasses back on. We then cut back to the ring. Standing in the ring is Bobby Fish. And he goes, he's wearing a new shirt. Like, I'm very much taking this from the 2009 Miz John Cena feud. I'm very much using that as a base. Bobby Fish, he's got a shirt that says like, I beat Bray Wyatt or some shit. And he's like, last week I stood in front of this ring and I called out Bray Wyatt. The most terrifying man, the modern Undertaker, some people called him. And he did not answer because he's a coward. And I believe the whole world now knows that there's no lies in those statements. Now, Bray, you can send Abby the Witch, you can send Honky Tonky the pig, or any of these other stupid little puppets you've got. But I want the real man, Bray. Because you are a coward. I want you to come to this ring and explain why you sent your puppets after little old Bobby Fish. Bray does come out this time. And he goes, look, man, I couldn't sit back here and watch you make a fool out of yourself, man. Listen, Bobby, you didn't beat me last week. I just wasn't around, man, because as you see, I've got some problems going on with myself. And you say that I sent my puppets after you. That's not the case, man. I haven't controlled those puppets in a while. You see, those puppets are property of the Firefly Funhouse, man. And my Uncle Howdy and Aunt Susanna, they're in the Funhouse. They occupy that house now, man. Take it up with them. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be Bray Wyatt. Bobby Fish laughs. He goes, oh, give me a break. Do you really expect any of us to buy any of this crap? Okay. Do you remember last time you came back, you were wearing a red jumper and you tried to make everybody think you were a nice little Mr. Rogers TV host, but it turns out you were still a sick, twisted son of a bitch. And looking at you now, you know deep down you're still that same guy, but you're too scared to bring it out. Because you, Bray Wyatt, are a coward. As I was saying, and I mean, folks, where's... Oh, then he gets grabbed by Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt's sister Abigail is Bobby Fish. And sort of like looks down at him, crowd chanting one more time, one more time, one more time. So of course he does oblige, and he hits Bobby Fish with a second Sister Abigail, and probably even a third for good measure. And then Bray takes the mic and he goes, "I'm not a coward. In fact, I've never felt more alive. I know now what has to be done." And he turns to the camera and he goes, "Susanna, my Uncle Howdy. What happens next is because of you." And he leaves. Bobby Fish laid out. Still has his shirt that says "I beat Bray Wyatt." But he's been fucked up here tonight. Speaking of fucked up, Garza's been fucked up for the last 2 weeks because he appears to have found a new stalker in the form of Dexter Lumis. And he goes, no, I can't, he can't have gone all the way to London. Okay, I think we're safe for now. So him, I know what he wants. He wants a piece of the pie. And then Dixie's like, "What do you mean a piece of the pie, honey? What's going on?" He's like, "He has the same interests as me, but I'm not sharing. He wants my white whale, and I'm not going to give her up to him. He thinks that I can lead him to the promised land, but I can't, because she's mine, and only mine. I don't share. Angel Garza doesn't share MILFs. Okay? So, next time you see that weird guy, it's on site. Because I will do anything I can to protect the things I love. And you guys, and my white whale, you're all those things." $73, actually not that bad considering it's got the D'Angelo family in it. I couldn't justify putting them over here, so yeah, Dolph Ziggler and the Grand Jury do win. But it's fine, they're not buried or anything, the D'Angelo family. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult than they thought to claim SmackDown as their territory. Dolph Ziggler pins 2 dimes of a super kick, 33 for both Stacks and 2 dimes, 38 for Tony, 77 for Ken Kobain, 76 for Emerson Frost, and 82 for Dolph Ziggler. And yeah, I guess that is how you get the job done. Damian Priest lost in the US title match, but yeah, hey, Grand Jury did pick up a win here tonight. Next week, though, will be the fallout from Money in the Bank. And obviously, the card of Money in the Bank has left a lot to be questioned about the status of the King and Queen of the Ring brackets, because obviously Miss Money in the Bank or the champions won't be in them, but we do know that Asuka will be in Queen of the Ring. We did learn that earlier on tonight, as well as 2 men's and women's first round matches taking place on next week's show. But again, the only name in either tournament we know right now for this brand is Asuka. So yeah, just enjoy a picture of her, I guess. Then moving on to Money in the Bank, which is tomorrow night, we have 2 more matches announced for the show. The first for the United States Championship, as Swerve Scott takes on the man who's ran through the other 2 members of Hit Row so far. He beat Top Dollar, he beat Ashanti. The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne takes aim at Swerve Scott and the United States Championship at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow night. And of course, we now know the women's tag team titles will also be defended, as Tatum Paxley and Ivy Nile defend on the kickoff show against Lyra Valkyria and Killer Kelly, the newly formed Birds of Prey duo. Then cut to Gorilla. Kayla's backstage with Seth, Solo, and Jacob Fatu, and she says, "Seth, coming up next, you and Solo Sikoa set the team up against Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, just a day before you wrestle Carmelo Hayes for the World Heavyweight Championship." And he goes, "Ha ha 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 ha! Kayla, I'm on top of the world, London's calling." And they're singing my song. You see, at WrestleMania, Kayla, I was robbed of my World Heavyweight Championship. Cody stuck his oar in mine on Roman Reigns' business. Okay, but now the bloodline's gone. And I've never seen clearer. And my path tomorrow is clear, Kayla. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to stomp Carmelo Hayes down on this mat. And I'm going to walk out the new World Heavyweight Champion. Ha 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 ha. Oh, and if you don't believe me, just watch what me and Solo are about to do. Hit my music. Burn it down. And out they walk for the main event. 85-rated main event. Well, main event match, I should say. Because the main event segment is Ding Dong Hello. But it is Seth and Solo who pick up the win. Seth stomps Tricky Willie into the mat in 17:43. 94 for Carmelo Hayes and for Seth Rollins. A 70 for Solo Sikoa and a 64 for good old Tricky Willie. And yeah, this match will be good to help him get along nicely. But yes, so Seth and Solo do pick up the last laugh. Literally, here at the O2, just 24 hours before Seth and Melo at Money in the Bank, which could be the main event. I'm still undecided whether it's that or Cody and Adam Cole. Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's the main event as of yet. In real life, they said Dominik and Cody was the main event on this show. So, I don't want to make myself look silly by saying the wrong match is the main event. I can't decide which one's the main event right now. You'll know when the match card video goes up. Because I'll have decided, because I've already recorded the show. Anyway. Bailey, she makes a grand entrance. She takes a seat on the Ding Dong Hello. She goes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Money in the Bank special episode of Ding Dong Hello. Now, I'm sure you're all aware that a travesty struck 2 weeks ago when I, the role model Bailey, was not a part of Money in the Bank. But that brings you to my first guest, who is a part of Money in the Bank, and of course will win on my behalf, Dakota Kai. Out comes Dakota, and she just walks into the ring, and she's like, really? You of all people should know to use the door. And Dakota's like, oh, sorry, yes. And she knocks on the door. He goes, I wonder who it could be. Opens the door, Dakota walks in. And then she takes a seat, she goes, Dakota, okay, so, you will be the only representative of Damage Control in this Money in the Bank ladder match. And, as much as me and Cora would love to be there with you, we have to sit at the back and watch from afar. And Dakota's like, no, it's fine. It's fine, Bailey, it's fine. As much as I love you two, part of me is kind of happy that, I get to do this by myself because everybody knows what Damage Control as a group can do. Sure, we've hit a bit of a down period right now, but we dominate as a group, as a trio. But I think people forget that what I can do individually as a singles. And it's time to remind the world what Dakota Kai can do and not what Damage Control can do. So, as much as I would have loved to have had your help, I kind of appreciate that I won't. And Bailey sort of is taken aback by the answer. She's like, okay. And then out comes Tiffany Stratton. She's like, ladies, come on. Listen, you can sit there and you can bicker about who's going to win the briefcase and whatnot and tensions within Damage Control, but nobody gives a damn. Okay, people only care about this show right now because I'm on it. Okay, and where the center of the universe walks, so do all of the eyes. And, I've been getting eyes in London all day. You wouldn't get it. But tomorrow night, that briefcase joins the orbit of things that revolve around me in just my short period of time here on SmackDown. Out comes Florence to a big pop, hometown pop. She's like, Tiffany, do you just shut up, woman. Okay, yes, we get it. You think you're hot shit, but you're really not. If anything, you're a bit of a wanker. Big pop, wanker chance to Tiffany. She's like, rude. Okay, mute. She turns to the camera and she's like, mute this. Okay, when this goes up, mute this terrible audience. Okay, England, gross. Okay, then out comes Utami. And she's like, I will win Money in the Bank. And Bayley goes, oh, is that it? You know, woman of a lot of words, this you tell me, girl. Okay, so, and then LA Knight's music hits. Another big pop. And he goes, ladies, let me talk to you. Now you see, I for one, I'm happy sitting backstage. I'm watching you four bicker all night. But here's the truth. And the one universal truth is this. It's that any of you four women, yes, you all have a shot at walking out, Miss Money in the Bank, and proving to everybody watching that you are the next top star of the women's division. But when it comes to the men's case, is that exactly the same? Nah. Because you see, I look up at that case and I only see one thing. I saw Grayson Waller pull it down on Monday night. I saw Jeff Jarrett. I saw Xavier Woods. I saw Shinsuke Nakamura. All of those dummies thinking they've got a shot. I see Angelo Dawkins. I see Ilya Dragunov. And I see that Bronson Steiner thinking they've got a shot. But I look up at that case and I don't see a shot for anybody else. I see one man's name on that case. Whose name is it? It's LA Knight's name. Yeah. Out comes Angelo Dawkins. He's like, fam, UK. Listen here, they love you in London. They do. But, come on, let's take it back a peg or two, okay? I've been in Money in the Bank before. In fact, I got in last year. Tez got injured and I took his spot. Tez ain't in it this year, so I don't even got that in the back of my head. I can just focus on Angelo Dawkins, okay? And Angelo Dawkins, he already became Intercontinental Champion, but you didn't think I ever would be. And that case, I'll make it mine tomorrow night. Because you, LA Knight, acting like you're such hot shit, like you've already won the case. That's mine, fam. Out comes Bronson Steiner and Scott Steiner, and he goes, why don't you both shut your stupid asses up? Because there's one thing that's going to be a certain in life, and that's that my nephew, the badass Bronson Steiner, he's going out here tomorrow night, and he's pulling that case down, because he's going to kick everybody's ass in this match. Because nobody in this match can hang as a badass like Bronson Steiner, and nobody can take a beating from Bronson Steiner. Okay, because that's those Steiner genes. And let me do the math real quick. Big pop. He's like, each of you have a 12.5 chance of winning at Money in the Bank. But this man, Bronson Steiner, he's got a 62.5 chance of winning. Because nobody on Raw can beat this man, and they know it, so they've conceded the briefcase to this man already. It's only you two idiots and that other SmackDown idiot who think they can beat this man, Bronson Steiner. And let me tell you, MITB spells disaster for everybody here when my nephew, Bronson Steiner, beats all your asses. Out storms Ilya Dragunov, and he's like, I didn't come to talk. I came to fight. And he hits Torpedo Moscow on Bronson Steiner. Big brawl ensues. Bayley probably scutters herself out of the way. And since we had a man pull the case down on Raw, let's do a women pulling the case down today. Bayley would get back in the ring, probably jump Florence. Still salty that she qualified for Money in the Bank over her. And her and Dakota sort of double team her. Bayley sets the ladder up, and Dakota Kai climbs it and ends the show by pulling the women's briefcase down to end the go-home show for Money in the Bank, which gets us an 87. Yes, which is a pretty fine show. What matters more is what you thought of the show. And coming up next, we have a pretty stacked episode of Velocity. It's got 2 title matches. It's got the third match between RKJ and Axiom in that best of 3. And it's got Nathan Fraser against Mustafa Ali. So I'll see you on the flip for that. We kick off the Velocity show with a 74 rated match. It is Nathan Fraser against Mustafa Ali. And yeah, in front of the hometown English crowd, it is Nathan Fraser who picks up the win, pinning Ali 13-24 by beating him by submission according to the game, but no, he would pin him, I imagine. Phoenix Splash. 79 for Mustafa Ali, 58 for Nathan Fraser, and yeah, a nice big win and a big opening hot contest for the live crowd. And we head into our next match, which is the Trios Championship match. Death from Above against the grizzled young veterans and Charlie Dempsey. Gets an 81, which is a very good match. And apparently, Rip Fowler has now bulked up, and I didn't realise, because he's definitely been in cruiserweight matches before as a lightweight in the game, but apparently he's now middleweight, so he must have bulked up without me noticing. So this is their last match as a part of Velocity, I guess. But yeah, it is. Death from Above who retain. And in the 81, I completely glossed over that. That's a very good match. Pistolero pins Charlie Dempsey with a Revolution fly. It says Rip Fowler was not eligible to compete for the title due to weight restrictions. I know that now. He definitely was a lightweight before, so guess he's just sick and tired of being on Velocity, and now he's bulked up. 77 for Rip, 73 for Jagger, 48 for Charlie, 85 for Pistolero, 78 for Lince Dorado, and a 91 for Grand Metalik. 55, again, should be better, but because they've got no interest. 55 is actually an incredible match rating for two people that have the big ding for not having any investment in the workers. But it is Axiom who wins the best of 3. He beats RKJ 13 minutes 5 seconds. Yeah, with the golden ratio, whatever it is. That's what it's called, yeah. 60 for Axiom, 68 for RKJ. So, maybe I picked the wrong man to win this. But, oh well. And then our main event. Rey Mysterio defends the Cruiserweight Championships against Scripts. And a 72. That damn dirty Dominik Mysterio makes an appearance. London boos the fuck out of him. And he costs his father the championship. Scripts. Reggie is the Cruiserweight Champion. 70 for Rey Mysterio, 62 for Scripts. And yeah, I don't know if people saw that coming. If you've read the goals, you maybe should have. But, yeah. Scripts defeats Rey Mysterio to become Cruiserweight Champion. And that's how we end Velocity here in London at the O2. 73 rated show. Pretty fine for Velocity standards. What matters more is what you thought of the show and, mainly a SmackDown. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for, I think it's episode 378, which will be Money in the Bank itself. See you then.